Now, okay, let's move on and talk about games again, which we were. This is tangentially related, but I want us to talk about some of the more, I guess you could say, like sleeper hits that were showcased at Opening Night Live. Because of course, we got we talked about the big titles, but I want us to kind of see if we can touch on some of the, I guess, wouldn't necessarily say smaller titles, but like some that might get glossed over a little bit. We got Mecha Break. We got Delta Force, which is a campaign. It's a battlefield mode. I'm not too familiar with these particular games, but I want to put it out to our panel here. Mecha Break, Delta Force. What do we think of these particular titles?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Mecha Break, I actually played the test.
Yeah.
So I like Armored Core. I like mecha type games. Mm-hmm. It seems a little less sort of in depth than Armored Core, but it also kind of drops you into more of the multiplayer sort of a lot more quickly, I think, than Armored Core 6 did. And it has a lot of mecha designs from very well-known designers. It looks terrific, honestly. You can customize your pilot. Big anime energy, and as a mecha fan, I've been kind of looking for that arena game for a while now. I think it'll be more of a niche hit, but I think that it's going to definitely get a cult audience relatively quickly. And Delta Force, it's an extraction shooter, but also it has a battlefield component to it. When I was watching the trailer, I saw helicopters flying around, tanks, that kind of thing. I'm going to say I'm a Battlefield fan, maybe more so than Call of Duty, because I like driving the tank,
right,
or the planes, that kind of thing. So just seeing that, and Delta Force looks really, really good. No denying that.
Like big open scale, large,
Yeah,
60
Destin was talking to us and saying there's the extraction. There are multiple modes, and one mode is just Battlefield, and the other mode is extraction shooter. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll just play the Battlefield mode. Sounds great.
Yeah. What about what about Path of Exile 2, which I think is probably one of the most anticipated ARPGs out there? Do we think it might dethrone Diablo 4, or has it already?
I think so in many ways.
Okay.
Well, I think Diablo is more mainstream, but I think Path of Exile has been really, really successful in a way that maybe not a lot of people outside hardcore RPG circles can really grasp. It is a huge game, and when Path of Exile 2 comes out, I think it'll be really successful. I think the big difference between it is that it's a lot more action-focused than Diablo. Diablo is all about building really broken builds and just numbers go up, right? Whereas Path of Exile 2 has a little bit more of that Elden Ring flavor to it, but from a top-down isometric perspective. I know those are different things. Where you're rolling around a lot. They use your dodge roll a lot more, and it's a beautiful-looking game. It's going to be really good.
I just think it's a good time for computer RPGs as a whole. We're just eating well in terms of everything.
We are eating.
Yeah, and Diablo 4 is still very good, still very fun to play, and so now there's another one that you got to figure out which one you want to play.
And then we'll have Vessel of Hatred coming out in October as well.
Yeah. So
much hell and I'm like, where's the nice version of those games?
Well, you want to know what the nice version is?
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals. Look at that. That's also coming out. I feel like we're eating way too good. This one, I got a free code for it during Comic-Con. But it's on my back catalog. I have so many games that I really want to play. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, you're tying it to the Marvel property, so that immediately lures me in. That attracts me in because you get to play as Spider-Man, Galactus's daughter. I believe she's in the game.
Galactica,
I believe.
Are they father-daughter?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
you didn't know?
No,
that?
I know she's in the trailer. I just thought she was a friend.
To Galactus.
Yeah, I don't know. They dress similar.
Galactus is, he needs friends too.
I mean, maybe if he's a good dad, but I don't think he is. From what I read in her history, her bio. But anyways, this game looks amazing. I'm looking forward to playing this one. I guess the question is, what do we think about it? Do we think this is going to excite us for this genre of games? Also. The Marvel universe, because I feel like MCU is not really doing it for me right now.
They just had the biggest billion R-rated movie ever. Of course, MCU's
not that one. I'm talking about what's coming in the future. We got Tony Stark as Dr. Dumb.
I'll take it from here. I guess I didn't realize that Marvel Rivals would be free to play. Was that new?
I think they were sort of like hinting at it,
Okay.
that was going to be the model. For me,
Yeah.
okay, the thing about Marvel Rivals for me is I think when it was first announced, a lot of people were like, oh, it's just Overwatch 2 with Marvel, right?
Yeah.
But then you give it a few weeks and people are like, wait a minute, I like Overwatch 2. I like Marvel.
Exactly. No, that wasn't like not a selling point for me when people were saying. I'm like, what do you mean? I like Overwatch
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah. He's like, well, it's just like Overwatch. I'm like, I love Overwatch.
it's like okay,
So,
and
a fun game, but with characters that I
Yeah.
also like. So what's the problem here? And then I think the more people have gone to see it, and I think there was a beta or an alpha test.
People
Yeah.
were playing it, I think, on PlayStation,
Right.
right? Like as
Yeah.
a beta. But I'm nervous because it's free to play, and if you guys know me on IGN socials, I always talk about Fortnite, which I love, and that's free to play, and that game is the most money I've ever spent for a free game. So Marvel Rivals, I know it said all the heroes would be like unlocked, and Captain America just got announced, and Bucky, and which, by the way, in that gameplay, Bucky, like his vibranium arm looked like Venom, like just very like whoa, what happened to Mr. Barnes over here? But yeah, I'm really excited because like it's like they have all the voice actors, like I know like Yuri Lowenthal reprises his role as Spider-Man, and all these kind of fun big character moments. But like I feel like a free to play Marvel game that's multiplayer, it feels like a recipe. The Fortnite season right now is all Marvel, so it's like it seems like that's the way to go that's like the perfect recipe.
yeah. So that's going to take you out of playing Fortnite. For a
Well,
while.
let's not get crazy now. I mean, yeah, I do want to. I mean, especially if I can play it on PlayStation, which is my platform of choice.
The platform you're going to play Indiana Jones.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So if you guys are friends with me on PlayStation, you'll see my two most recently played games will be Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Marvel Rivals, one of which I paid for. The other one's free to play.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Marvel Rivals is going to have all characters unlocked at launch, which is a big deal because fans were rallying to petition to make sure that happened because there was a lot of fear that they would be paywalled
Right.
at launch. So low key, that was maybe the biggest reveal of the Marvel Rivals trailer, I think.
Yeah. I think locked heroes is a difficult sort of balance to sort of hit. You know, it feels unfair to have these characters that are very cool and just be like, well, you can't have them unless you play a certain amount
The second
of hours.
it's a slippery slope to
It is.
paywall
Yeah.
characters because then you start getting into pay-to-win territory. And frankly, nobody wants to grind through a battle pass just to be able to access a character that they want to play. Put them all out there, get people into the game, and then come up with really cool skins that people can then
Right.
access, and then pay way too much money for, or just don't have microtransactions at all.
Yeah, they really need
Maybe
to.
that's the way.
Everything
really-
you just said is what I do.
Yeah.
Well, in Fortnite.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Well,
I just unlocked War Machine, and whew, man, his powers are overpowered.
Well, let's Thanos snap that idea away, hopefully.
Okay.
But anyways, we need to take a quick break, just one more. Stick around. IGN's live post-show coverage of Opening Night Live returns right after this.